As we all know, Chappell Roan is currently being verbally annihilated on the internet. Literally anytime I open Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, Snapchat, any social media, literally name it, there is no avoiding the mass hysteria that's happening online. I debated even adding to this discourse because part of the problem is that the internet thinks they need to provide their opinion on every single topic. But considering most of the discourse is heavily negative, at least I could add some positivity. Also, if straight men can give their opinion, at least I, the target demographic, can give my opinion. Before we dive into specifics of these controversies, let's talk about how she rose to fame. The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess made its debut on September 22nd, 2023. Despite this album being a masterpiece and having high critical acclaim, it was mostly listened to by the gay community and didn't blow up until the year 2024. In January of 2024, about 3 months after the release of the album, it started to accumulate around like 2.8 million streams a week. Granted, 2.8 million streams is a very large number and probably what Chappell Roan wished the number stayed at. But when we compare it to the outrageous numbers that she's charting now, it just doesn't even come close. And by the end of June, the album had reached 68.36 million streams weekly. This extreme rise into fame can't be accredited to just one single thing, but events just kept happening that all kept getting more and more virality. In the summertime, Chappell was booked and busy. She did NPR Tiny Desk, she dressed as Lady Liberty at Gov Ball, performed at Coachella, released Good Luck Babe, went on the Jimmy Fallon show, and fast forward to now, performed at the VMAs and took home Best New Artist.
Can you believe it? We're at the VMAs!
The one thing all of these events have in common is how viral they became on social media. And the issue is, the more fame Chappell obtains, the more opinions about her are posted online. Almost immediately as Chappell made her way into the mainstream, did her words start getting misconstrued and held under a magnifying glass. Chappell has made it very clear since the beginning of this rise to fame that she did not ever dream of getting this famous and wanted to be more like gay famous, like Muna, Clairo, the Aces. In June at a concert in Raleigh, North Carolina, Chappell had to stop the show briefly to tell her fans how she had been feeling.
I just want to be honest with the crowd. I just feel a little off today because I think that my career's just kind of gone really fast and it's really hard to keep up. I'm just having a hard time today.
Despite giving multiple warnings that the newfound attention was a large and uncomfortable adjustment for her, the media did not spare her from the ridicule that pretty much every rising female singer gets. This mixed with Chappell persistently standing her ground and asking for healthy boundaries has been an absolute shitstorm. On TikTok, on August 19th, she posted 2 videos condemning fan behavior.
I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior, okay?
And this is where the trend of hating on Chappell really began, because this was not perceived well by the internet. Chappell simply asking for boundaries turned into the rhetoric of her hating her fans, and it's literally like an ongoing joke on the internet. Like this one. Recently at the VMAs, Chappell clarified that she obviously loves her fans and people stalking and harassing her are not her fans.
So respectful, like no one has been creepy to me or like harassed me. I think that it's hard for artists to speak up because they're so scared of their fans hating them. But we're not actually talking about fans. We're talking about like people who are harassing, and like if you happen to be a fan, then we're talking to you.
Even after the clarification, there's just some people that think that celebrities are obligated to sign autographs, take pictures, and that it's part of their job. Basically twerk 24/7. I personally just do not agree with this take. I don't know when this illusion was created that if we listen and buy an artist's work and we learn everything there is to know about them, which is literally just what they've chose to tell us or what has been forced out about them, that they owe us something beyond what they already give us. These singers are in and out of interviews, touring for months, literally 18 months if you're Taylor Swift. They have meetings, they have award shows. And on top of that, I just don't think they should be required to interact with fans every time they have free time or they leave their house. It's the same as us not wanting to be called to work on our day off. Like, it's not the most perfect analogy. Imagine you get called in on your off day during a time you probably would have spent relaxing and you feel unsafe, anxious, and like claustrophobic during those hours that you were called in. Many people comment that is part of the job, but is literally us who set those expectations for this job. I think one of the issues that causes this feeling of entitlement between a fan and an artist is the form of currency literally being exchanged in between them. Concert tickets for an artist these days are like $300, averaging a seat maybe in the nosebleeds, depending on who the concert is for. Or if the tickets are sold out in 5 minutes, you can buy them for $20,000 online. Like literally, look at these Sabrina Carpenter tickets that I saw being sold online the other day. Like, short and sweet tour or buy a new house. Even if you don't buy tickets to see your favorite artist on tour, there's still merch, albums, literal digital copies, which Taylor Swift is releasing like every 2 weeks. And now celebrities don't just have like music related products, they have makeup lines, cooking pots and pans, tequila. The people that we're seeking entertainment from now are also trying to sell us everyday products. Obviously, it's not a surprise when a celebrity does something disappointing in the media. P. Diddy. But they literally feel like they're wasting their money when someone does something that they don't agree with and they just like spent a bunch of money on them. Especially when you have to think that most of the time fans are probably in a lower income bracket and they're like saving their money up for stuff. Like, I'm literally saving up for the rise and fall of a Midwest Princess vinyl right now. Or when you cancel a festival lineup, no tea, no shade. And then in that case, money actually is being wasted. So much of the backlash online was the fact that people said they're already bought plane tickets, they're already on the way. Even though there's like 30 million amazing artists at that festival, but that's besides the point. Like, I will take your tickets to go see Hozier and Ethel Cain and Muna and Renee Rapp. I think another way money plays a factor in the way we treat celebrities is we, as normal, average individual citizens, just cannot fathom the amount of money that they have. Normally, when an individual just has like an incomprehensible amount of money, I feel like people begin to lack sympathy for them. After Chappell pulled out of All Things Go last weekend, I saw a tweet that was getting a lot of engagement, basically claiming that because she's a millionaire, how could her mental health possibly be that bad? The idea that money equates to happiness when you're literally tearing down the so-called millionaire into pieces online is just ridiculous. If the internet didn't gang up on her in the first place, she probably wouldn't have pulled out of the concert in the first place if it isn't the repercussions of your own actions. Obviously, money alleviates financial stress. I would love a few $100 extra right now, but celebrities are exposed to a wide range of stressors that we as normal individuals will literally never experience. And let's be real, I'm sure Chappell has a very substantial amount of money. Don't know if you can get $1 million that fast. Maybe you can, I don't know. Besides that, she's literally mentioned on multiple different occasions that she has been extremely happy while she's been poor, and it's literally just nice to be able to pay her bills. In general, it's just completely wrong to minimize other people's mental health, combined with the fact that Chappell Roan has been very open about struggling with bipolar 2.
I just wanted to share that I'm very fortunate and grateful to have my dream job. This job is very difficult for me to process and maintain a healthy life and mindset. I already have difficulty regulating my emotions because I have bipolar 2 disorder. Everything is very exciting right now, and I'm realizing that success actually makes me quite uncomfortable and self-conscious, and I'm not sure why yet.
This is literally a video Chappell posted on her TikTok like over a year ago. I just think it's such a red flag to not show more grace in situations like this. This has basically been a common practice that has occurred since the internet began. A woman reaches a certain magnitude of fame, and then the internet in turn tears her down. A great example of this is the beginning of Lady Gaga's career. Lady Gaga faced transphobia when she first blew up because of her distinct facial features, her big gay following, and the way she dressed. Literally in an interview, a reporter asked her if she had a penis.
Do you have a penis or not? You know, my beautiful vagina is very offended by that question.
Really? So you got a vagina? Now we all know.
Even though this interview is from a long time ago, I just can't believe that it was found appropriate to ask anyone about their genitalia in an interview. She did not fit the social norms that society had set for women, especially women in the limelight, and they tore her down hoping she would quit. Lady Gaga admits that there was a part of her career where she was suicidal.
I didn't really understand why I should live other than to be there for my family.
Did you think about suicide?
Oh, yeah.
Another example of misogyny towards new artists is probably the most loved and simultaneously hated person on the planet right now, Taylor Swift. Taylor dropped her first hit single at the age of 14, and this did not stop men from sexualizing her, and it was even celebrated when she turned 18, just like many other women that began their careers as minors. She was harassed and bullied by grown men. We all know who I'm talking about.
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous.
Who then proceeded to put a naked replica of her body in a music video with no consent. Throughout her entire career, she's gotten backlash for writing songs about her exes, and essentially the internet has called her ran through in Gen Z terms. Yet we never really hear about men running around Hollywood hooking up with whoever they want. Nick Cannon has like 25 kids, and it didn't even spark controversy in the news until it hit like kid 12. And it took how long for people to notice that Leonardo DiCaprio was only dating women under 35? More recently, Taylor Swift simply became the most hated woman by men ever just for going to NFL games, which her boyfriend played in. Like, you guys got mad at someone for loving their boyfriend. Ariana Grande is another celebrity that practically was bullied off the line. She hardly ever is on Twitter anymore, which I feel like she was known for like interacting with her fans on Twitter. And a few days ago, she did an interview with a lie detector test and opened up about her relationship with her and her fans.
Would you say you love your fans?
Very much.
Do you love them all the time?
I love them always, but I think sometimes they can hurt my feelings. And sometimes I don't like them, but I love them always. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We can even use the most extreme examples of this where these behaviors have led to celebrity deaths. When Amy Winehouse started to become famous, she had already been struggling with substance abuse since she was a teen, and the media did not spare her any sympathy. In 2009, she released Back to Black, an album where she sings about the pain of her ex returning back to his old girlfriend while she descended into addiction. Critics and fans loved the vulnerability of this album, and it was awarded 3 Grammys. Inevitably, this led to even more press attention and spotlight. They made her the poster child for broken youth, and at one point, a large London magazine even put her on the front cover with like residual of coke on her nose. At some points when it was really bad, she would show up to words stumbling, forgetting the lyrics, or she just wouldn't even finish out the entire set list. The media took advantage of all these bad moments and put them online. It didn't matter what Amy Winehouse did. The media had already completely tarnished her reputation across the world. They didn't care about Amy's declining mental health. They just exploited her addictions for headlines and papers and their own benefit. In 2011, she was found dead in her home in London. The media changed their attitude immediately and started glorifying her and portraying her as a national treasure, even though they were largely the cause for all the hate she had to endure during her career. Online behavior leading to repercussions of this caliber only justify the boundaries Chappell is setting further. We should be embracing the boundaries that Chappell has set for herself and has continued to set and extend it to other artists rather than lashing out on her for disrupting the status quo. They hated Jesus for telling the truth after all. And lastly, I think it's time we finally unpack the whole Kamala Harris endorsement scandal. An interview of Chappell with The Guardian was released about 2 weeks ago, and in the interview, Chappell stated, "I have so many issues with our government in every way. There are so many things I would want to change, so I don't feel pressured to endorse someone. There's problems on both sides." This simple statement caused massive outrage. Even though she clearly stated that she sees issues with both sides, the internet quickly spun this into her voting for Trump, supporting Trump somehow, and they used the fact that she was from the Midwest to back up this theory. Last week, she took to TikTok again to set the record straight, her favorite place to clear up the beef.
I just woke up and to like people just skewing it even more. Endorsing and voting are completely different.
It's a long video, but to sum it up, she basically said that she doesn't agree with any campaign 100%, so she doesn't want to attach her name in her project to a candidate. She expanded on this by saying that gay and trans rights and the ongoing genocide in Gaza are not issues that she's willing to overlook. She clarified that Kamala is the candidate that she is voting for, but there is evil to both sides. People argue that it's a privilege in itself to be condemning the better option out of the two, but she just continued to say that both sides were evil and not expand on the fact that one is like way more evil than the other, and that she didn't make it clear enough how important it is to vote blue in this election. To be fair, I think America is just very scared right now of the possibility of Trump winning another election, and any discourse that may persuade people to vote for him or just not vote at all anymore is frightening. Without a doubt, it also did not help that the majority of her fan base is LGBTQ+ and voting for Kamala. But for the fans that actually keep up with Chappell, you will know she has been always very vocal about equality and justice for all. She declined her performance at the White House because of their involvement with the war on Gaza, and she has multiple projects where she raises money for queer and Palestine charities. I just think everyone was so focused on an endorsement when it's actions over words at the end of the day. Like, Chappell made this point in her video. Like, she was like, everyone that is endorsing a certain candidate might not even be voting for them. And I just think as far as celebrities go with backing up what they say, Chappell is always going out of her way to help out a marginalized community. I just think that outrage over this is just all kind of hypocritical in the first place. On July 21st, when Biden dropped out of the presidential race, the public did not welcome Kamala with open arms. As vice president, it appeared that Kamala was in agreement with Biden on funding Israel. And it did not help that she used to be an attorney general in California. Back before Kamala was brat and she existed in the context of which she came from, and before she was Madam Coconut Tree, she was more famous for nicknames such as Zionist and Cop. Obviously, people have warmed up to her. She's kind of our only option, but many still hold her accountable for the exact things that Chappell called her out for. Amidst all this hate, members in the gay community, including celebrities, outpoured their love for Chappell at All Things Go, the festival that she was not able to attend. Muna covered Good Luck Babe as a tribute to her. The act to replace Chappell was the Queens of the Dance Floor drag queen party, which is just so perfect. They lip sync Chappell's choreography, and the turnout was really big, even though it wasn't Chappell Roan herself. A queer entertainment news company called Them posted a TikTok of fans sharing kind words that they have for Chappell since she couldn't attend.
Hey Chappell, coming to you live from All Things Go. I hope you're taking whatever time you need to heal, because baby girl, we need you.
That's a super hard decision, but how you're feeling is totally valid.
Get better, girl! Hey, mental health is important. It's real. It's just as important as physical health, and we support you.
And the festival even tweeted saying that they love her and they wish her the best and they wish she was there. And even besides stuff outside of the festival, Ethel Kane went on Tumblr last week to defend Chappell about the KLA Scandal. She stated, Chappell Roan is right though, the fact that even slight criticism of Kamala is seen as immediate unwavering support of Trump. Y'all cannot actually be this stupid. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the great things that comes from being in a marginalized community though, is the support. Basically an added support system that comes along with being famous, which is why people like Charlie XCX or Lady Gaga love their queer fan bases even though they're not queer. Chappell Roan's real fans continue to prove that we will stick around for however long she decides she wants to do this, no matter how many times they try to villainize her. And with that, thank you for tuning into my major glazing. In all seriousness, I hope that one day we can live in a world where celebrities feel some sense of normalcy rather than the obsessive, insane fan behavior that we have made normal. And I honestly think Chappell Roan will be a big stepping stone in getting us there, whether you like it or not. And all I ask is, if you do not like her, please do not buy her concert tickets and save them for us. Bye guys, thank you for watching, and remember to be nice to people on the internet.